Erriyon Knighton for a 4-year ban dating back from 2024. So for those that don't remember, Erriyon Knighton was provisionally suspended for the presence of trenbolone in a sample, and he claimed that it was from a tainted meat source that he had in from a not it was not the
Oxtail.
yeah, oxtail. That's what he had claimed that it was. So he was provisionally suspended 2024. Was allowed to then compete again, then stopped competing, and then they just went through with all the arbitrations. 4-year suspension, meaning that he's going to be able to come back in July 11th, 2029. So looking at that time, it's very depending on when world championships are in 2029 and when the US championship is, we very well may not see Erriyon Knighton potentially on the track until 2030, because if USA's usually falls on that weekend. And so it really and it's going to be tough because he has to qualify for it, and if you don't have any races ahead of time, how are you going to get into that meet? So we very well may not see Erriyon Knighton on the track for another at a championship until 2030, which is pretty wild to say. What was your kind of reaction when you saw this come down?
4 years felt crazy. But I don't have much tolerance in me personally for the use of, performance enhancing drugs. I don't think anyone that takes drugs and gets caught doing drugs should ever have the opportunity to run in this sport again. I don't feel any leniency at all when it comes to that. And I think there's a scientist that had posted about that and how much oxtail he would have had to consume for that substance to be present. And it was something in the realm of 450 oxtail. So the story didn't check out either, so that makes it even uglier. But yeah, bro, I don't have any tolerance. I don't feel any sort of sympathy or empathy for people who cheat the game. I'm in the game still, and I see a lot of people in this sport that put everything that they have into this sport to do it the right way. And when there's people like this, who knows how long he's been doing it? Obviously, he accomplished a ton of incredible things at a young age, but my tolerance for the use of drugs in this sport is just zero. I just don't. I'm not the guy to cope, with that stuff.
Yeah, for me, I remember very vividly when I was in college, there was a coach that we had that whenever he saw a runner, essentially he was like, any runner that goes sub 10, he was like, they're juicing. You can't run sub 10 without juice. That was his thing. It was an older guy, and it was just they're every single person. If it's too fast, can't do it. And I was like, everyone on our team was like, this dude's crazy. You're okay, sure, all right, coach, whatever you say, yada yada yada. And as I've gotten older, not to say I agree with his exact premise, but I'm starting to see more of all right, I see where you're coming from now. Of if it's too good to be true, it might just be of hey, you have a 17-year-old that's running one of the fastest times of all time. There's a possibility that it might be too good to be true. And so that's where, and of course he wasn't suspended or anything from his 2022 performance or 2024. This is as of recent, but is this the first time that something the first time that you do something, or do you get caught? Potentially, but also potentially not. And so it's just as I've gotten been involved in the sport more heavily and more consistently as of recent, it's man, yeah, there's a lot of these times and things that you put question to of where it is, and then it makes you wonder where what is the percentage of people that are in the sport that legitimately doing things 100% by the book. It's hard to know. It's hard to tell. It just draws all these questions with it, which is unfortunate because you have people that do things the right way, and it's yeah, maybe the person that I'm training with that like my training partner who we talk about, we hang out, like it's like maybe we've even talked, trash about people that, that have been caught doing steroids. And then you find out they get caught doing something. You're like, man, you were like my friend. Like we talked about this and now like, what do you like that? I don't know. I feel like that's gotta be crazy, especially like you're involved here. I'm sure there are people that you may even have called close friends that have, something like this have happened, but it's pretty crazy, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, RIP Erriyon Knighton, I guess, for the next 4 years here. I mean, I don't actually, let me not use those X's, X-rays, RIP. That's rough. But see you later, Erriyon Knighton. We'll see you in the next 4 years. When you come back, bro, prove the world that you wasn't juicing, bro. Prove that was your natural thing that you could do. So you'll still be young. You're probably only like 21, 22 right now. So
yeah, he's gonna be 28 by the time he'll come back. Like he'd
right.
still,
yeah, he'll be fine.
He'd be Noah's age, so he'd still have time. Bless you. But it does make me wonder of like, because he was a 4-star recruit in football. Like we see like these enhanced, like you think could we see him say, you know what, 4 years is a lot of time for me to not do something. Like let me look into this football thing. Hey, these enhanced games are going next year. Like I might like let me see what this is going. Like I don't know. Like what do you like? 4 years is a lot of time to not be making money. Because I'm not sure. Like, do you know? Like, do they like? I'm sure you can't speak to exact contract stuff, but do like your sponsors? Do you still get paid through if you get suspended? Like, I'm not sure if you even know if that happens. I'm not sure. Like, what does your income look like when you're suspended for something like this?
More often than not, you will lose your deal over this.
Okay. So there you go. So it's like, hey, for 4 years, like you don't have income coming in. Like that's a pretty big deal. Like so you got to find something to do for a little while. You can't just you're not gonna just be Uber Eats driving for the next 4 years. So I'll be interested. Let's see.